If you like beautiful historical furnished places, you are at the right place. This video is a follow-up of the last coronation video, and it's all about French national furniture. Bonjour, my name is Blandine and I am still a big fan of visiting Paris, even if for 80% of my life I've lived in or around Paris. The last coronation video was about the exhibit taking place at the Gobelin Galerie. La Galerie des Gobelins, the Gobelin Gallery, is part of le Mobilier National, the national furniture. This video about the national furniture will be in two folds. First, we'll be visiting the great Hôtel de la Marine Museum on Place de la Concorde, as it was, at its beginning, the Royal National Furniture Office and Warehouse of the King. It's now called l'Hôtel de la Marine. And then I will show you about the actual national furniture place, Les Gobelins, le Mobilier National. So let's begin at the beginning with l'Hôtel de la Marine. Today's Place de la Concorde owes its creation to the will of Louis XV, so it all started in 1748 and the base model was la Place Vendôme and la Place des Vosges. After the constructions of the plans and the launching of the works, it was time to find an affectation to the two palaces situated in the north. In 1765, it was decided to install the Garde-Meuble Royal, the institution in charge of the king's furniture, here at the future Hôtel de la Marine. Initially, le Garde-Meuble, the royal furniture, was supposed to occupy only a part of the building. But in 1767, it finally took over the whole place, and the head of Le Garde-Meuble took advantage of the opportunity to have the hotel fitted out to fully meet the needs of his administration. So, storage areas, workshops, staff apartments, exhibition galleries, he had it all at the same place. For nearly 25 years, Le Garde-Meuble and its stewards, Pierre-Élisabeth de Fontagneux and later Marc-Antoine Thierry de Ville-d'Avray, occupied the palace. So the Royal Furniture Institution was in charge of the fitting out of the royal residence, such as Versailles Castles, but also Compiègne, Fontainebleau, Marly, Trianon, Saint-Germain-en-Laye, and so on and so on. They were responsible for the selection, purchase and maintenance of the king's furniture, ranging from beds to simple chairs, and they were also in charge of the conservation of the royal collections of arms, armors, fabrics, vases, hard stones, bronzes, and finally the crowns, diamonds, more on the jewels later on. And also they were in charge of the kitchenware and linen. The French Revolution that broke out in 1789 changed forever the history of this place and this building. The days of Le Garde-Meuble, symbol of the administration and royal pomp, were counted. On July the 13th, 1789, the day before the Revolution Day, the revolutionaries seized the weapons displayed in the armory here at l'Hôtel de la Marine And the story goes that the first shots against La Bastille were fired by cannons taken the day before from the royal collections of Le Garde-Meuble. Then, in 1792, the crown jewels were stolen from the Hôtel de la Marine. During the night, about 40 people entered the State Salon, where the jewels were displayed, and stole the jewels. As a symbol of the Ancien Régime, Le Garde-Meuble was simply abolished during the Revolution. Some of the furniture and art objects were then sold at auctions and some were burnt. In 1800, the institution was recreated under the name of Garde-Meuble des Consuls. It then became the Imperial Furniture and finally the National Furniture in 1870. Today, the Mobilier National is still in charge of the furniture of all national institutions. So, why did this building turn into the Hôtel de la Marine, the Navy Hotel? At the beginning of the Revolution, King Louis XVI left Versailles to Paris, and all the administrations of the state that seated in Versailles previously must then return to Paris. But a major obstacle arose where to install them, and the Ministry of Navy moved into the palace housing the Garde-Meuble in 1789. The Ministry of the Navy will not leave the building until 2015. It has remained there for 225 years. When the Navy left in 2015, a large-scale restoration was undertaken to open the monument to the public. The goal was then to restore the apartments of the stewards of the royal furniture to their 18th century splendor. So, to fulfill the promise of a journey to the Age of Enlightenment for the visitor, it was decided to restore the intendant's apartments to their late 18th century state. This was made possible by the discovery of the original paintings underneath more recent layers of paint. For example, you will see the original sky blue paint in the tile antechamber, which was found after removing 18 layers of paint. The Confident is a connected headset and it will immerse you in the heart of the monument's history. A voice will whisper information and anecdotes from an insider point of view when you're visiting, which makes the visit all the more interesting. So, what could be more important than the furniture to give you back the atmosphere of the past? Thanks to the inventory of Le Garde-Meuble, it has been possible to identify most of the furniture and fabrics present in the Hôtel de la Marine in the 18th century. You will also witness the invention of the bathroom at a moment of history when watering oneself was not considered dangerous as much. While intendants lived in their private apartments, a myriad of servants, craftsmen, suppliers and visitors passed through these spaces every day. And this is also a time when puppets became a thing. The second part of the museum visit is dedicated to the Hôtel de la Marine when it was the Navy Hotel. So the state rooms will take you in a journey in the 19th century. So in the middle of the 19th century, a great restoration was undertaken in this gallery. In the middle of the 19th century, a great restoration of this gallery is launched to make of it a living room of reception intended to dazzle all the visitors. So, the decoration of these rooms is grandiose. White panels highlight the carved and gilded wooden decorations. The fireplaces on each side are topped with mirrors that reflected the chandeliers and gilding on the ceiling. These rooms were a perfect setting for all the prestigious events organized by the state of the ministers throughout the 19th and 20th century. You will notice plenty of details like anchors, dolphins, horns of plenty. Formerly room of the jewels, where one preserved the jewels of the crown under the old regime, this part becomes a diplomatic lounge after the revolution. In this Second Empire decor, it's on this Louis XV style desk that was signed the decree of abolition of slavery in 1848. As this headquarters office, it has witnessed long hours of discussion until 2015. And from there, you can enjoy a beautiful view of Paris. This imposing balcony is called the loggia, and you will find 12 Corinthian columns. It's a very beautiful example of the classical architecture. So, of course, after the revolution, the square changed name for the place of the revolution, and then it changed name again for the Place de la Concorde. Concorde meaning being an agreement. Two fun facts here that I forgot to mention. Back then, le garde-meuble royal, so the royal furniture intendant, had in his team a person dedicated to secret lockers. Second fun fact, a replica of this building was built in Philadelphia, USA. So, what to do after this visit of l'Hôtel de la Marine? If you are on a budget and you want to picnic, you can picnic either on le Jardin des Tuileries on your left or on les Jardins des Champs-Élysées on your right. And this is less known, but it's a very quiet, very nice place. You just walk on the avenue and enter the gardens. And if you have no problem with your budget, you have two great restaurants inside l'Hôtel de la Marine, so you can go for either one of them, and they're great and the setting is beautiful. And then, from there, you can go and visit the Louvre Museum or Orsay Museum, or even closer, le Musée de l'Orangerie with Monet paintings. Now, let me talk a little bit about the actual national furniture today. At La Galerie des Gobelins, Paris the 13th, you can visit on a guided tour the workshop, or you can visit on a self-guided visit the temporary exhibition at La Galerie des Gobelins. The tour takes you through these huge buildings, and you have a courtyard, you have a school there too. You also have a big storage building dating from the 1930s. And on the top floor you will notice that there are no windows, so the furniture can be protected from the light. And finally you will enter the workshop and see the weavers at work. You cannot take picture of the weavers working on the looms, but the work which is done here is fascinating by the meticulousness with which the craft workers practice their art. They will show you how to reproduce an artwork using strands of wool. Since 1900, around 2,000 masterpieces of tapestries and carpets have been made there. So, in the first place, what is the Mobilier National, national furniture? And what is the Manufacture des Gobelins, manufactory of Les Gobelins? As a player, supporter and promoter of the art and design professions, Le Mobilier National, the national furniture, is the benchmark public cultural and social institution in these fields. The Mobilier National's mission is to decorate and furnish the hotels and residences assigned to the President of the Republic and the Prime Minister, but also French embassies, ministerial hotels, the hotel of the presidents, of the assemblies, and so on and so on. The mission is to create textiles and furniture on behalf of the state and to perpetuate traditional craft techniques, knowledge and know-how, and also to conduct research for new techniques. We cannot visit the National Furniture Warehouse unless for one day in the year, which is les Journées du Patrimoine. So far, I haven't done this visit. Et voilà, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if it was interesting to you, I would be thrilled if you would leave a blue thumb up or a comment. Until next time, thank you for your time, enjoy Paris!